A strange incident very recently in London. The Oxford University Debating Society held a seminar on the subject. Look at the subject. We believe in an independent Kashmir. Now, the very choice of the subject was provocative, very one-sided, and clearly showed the bias of the organizers. But what made it worse was that the kind of speakers that they invited from Pakistan were rabid pro-terrorist, insurrection kind of speakers who wanted to threaten, who want to openly advocate the breakup of India, the dismemberment of India. So the Indian students had to protest. What is on display here is Pakistan's unending, relentless hostility against India. Here is a country on the brink of economic meltdown and collapse. Here is a country that cannot give 2 square meals a day to its people. Here is a country that goes with a begging bowl to the IMF to take loan after loan, to take more loans to repay the previous loans. Here is a country that goes with a begging bowl to China, to Saudi Arabia, UAE, Muscat, Oman, America, wherever. Like a beggar, this country goes away with a begging bowl, and the moment it gets a dole, what does it use it for? Not for the betterment of its people. Not for giving them the 2 square meals a day that they crave for, not for getting their massive electricity bills down, unpayable electricity bills down. It uses it to create more terror incidents in Kashmir, south of the Pir Panjals, now back into the valley. It uses that money to fund Khalistani terrorists in Canada, in Pakistan, in the United States, to let them operate inside India, recreate that terrorist movement, that dead, moribund terrorist movement. If they are so fond of Khalistan, let them create a Khalistan inside Pakistan or inside Canada, and let Justin Trudeau be its first president. But the simple fact is, here is a country bent upon doing harm to India, whatever the cost to itself. Whatever the cost to itself, the sole reason why Pakistan seems to exist is that it wants to somehow dismember India, to carry on with that jihad for the conquest of India. Right? The amazing fact is that in the Biden period, in the dying years, 2 years of the Biden administration, all the Pakistani army officers who have their children studying in the United States and London, they have always been pro-CIA. They have always acted as agents of the CIA. And they have always tried to double cross the Americans, the Chinese, anybody who helps them. Now, with the help of these, they have tried to raise the levels of terrorism in J&K. They have tried to raise, with the patronage of the CIA, they had tried to support the Khalistani terrorists, not only operating from their soil, but also operating from Canadian soil and American soil. They have been trying to fund them, arm them, train them, provide them logistics, provide them ideological support. Worst of all, the Pakistani ISI. It was Pakistan Army's General Asim Munir, when he went to the United States about 2 years back. Apart from the Pentagon officials and the American generals, he met Victoria Nuland, the famous architect of the Maidan coup in Ukraine. The start of the entire problem in Ukraine was with Victoria Nuland and her infamous coup, her colored revolution. Pakistan's ISI, the CIA now used the Pakistan Army and the ISI to use the Jihad-e-Islami Pakistan and its contacts with the Jihad-e-Islami Bangladesh to stage a coup against the duly elected, legally confirmed government of Bangladesh led by Begum Hasina Wajid, which had provided so much economic enhancement and improvement in Bangladesh, which had created so much, done so much good for the Bangladeshi economy, had raised their per capita GDP to higher than that of Pakistan and even of India. But they were very unhappy with economic progress. What Pakistan craves for and it wants to export, the only commodity it has to export is terrorism, is jihadi chaos and violence. There should be no stability, there should be no economic progress, there should be no peace and quiet, there should be jihadi violence all over. And this is precisely what the ISI, which was paid by the CIA as the cat's paw of the CIA, it was instrumental in creating the coup in Bangladesh, which overthrew a legitimately elected government, democratically elected government, and Hasina Wajid has not resigned. She is still the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Let's be very clear on that fact. Legally, she is still the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. What is the locus standi of this Muhammad Yunus pretender? He was a darling of the democratic establishment in Washington. He had given huge contributions to Hillary Clinton's campaign fund when she was fighting Donald Trump, something Donald Trump has never forgiven. He has always resented the fact that he tried to beat his maiden attempt at seeking the US presidential, in taking part in the US presidential elections. This Muhammad Yunus was parachuted from Washington to Dhaka after the Jamaat-e-Islami, the ISI, had created total chaos by infiltrating all the student unions inside Bangladesh, in Dhaka, Chittagong, Kushtia, Khulna, etc. They had infiltrated all these student unions. That the CIA had rolled out the money. The CIA had rolled out its bag of tricks in terms of flash mob creation through texted messages, etc. And they had replicated the colored revolutions they have done in Ukraine, tried to do in Georgia, tried to do in so many European and Middle Eastern countries. This whole playbook was played out with the support of Pakistan's ISI. They have tried to undo the entire security restructuring of the subcontinent of India that India had achieved in 1971 war by that grand victory, in which the Mukti Bahini had played a major part to free their country from the vicious military clique of murderous generals from Pakistan. They had killed, 3 million Bangladeshi citizens. They had raped 1 million Bangladeshi women and throughout of Bangladesh 10 million refugees. India had a hard time trying to sort of create conditions so that they could go back. We were left with no choice but to do that. And here is this country, which is Pakistan, which is trying to tell us that what Bangladesh needs is not economic progress, not peace and quiet, not good relations with its neighbors, but it needs jihadi violence, jihadi chaos. I think, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for India to now teach a lesson to Pakistan. And the time is ripe, and fortunately for us, Donald Trump has won a massive victory, a clear mandate in the United States. Has won a clear victory and a clear mandate in the United States. He's made a surprising, very impressive comeback. It's been one of the most impressive comeback in recent electoral history all over the globe. Donald Trump fully understands the vile nature of Pakistan. the way they had swindled billions of dollars from the United States and, kept Osama bin Laden 700 meters from the Pakistan military academy, Kakul. I mean, they'd stabbed America in the back. And when the Americans under Biden had ordered that withdrawal, they had helped the Taliban to create a spectacle out of the Americans, make a tamasha out of the Americans. So Donald Trump hasn't forgotten or forgiven Pakistan for this. Initially, in his first term, he needed Pakistan because he still had to get his troops out of Afghanistan. And he was wanting to use Pakistan to see that they had a clean break. But the moment he went, we have all seen what Pakistan did. Now he no longer needs Pakistan, right? And he is not going to be indulgent like the democratic dispensation of Biden and Kamala Harris to this duplicitous state called Pakistan. He will be very happy if India teaches it a lesson for all its comeuppance. Now let's take a look at what Donald Trump thinks of Muhammad Yunus. I told you Muhammad Yunus tried to bankroll the election of Hillary Clinton in the United States by fleecing the people of Bangladesh through his Grameen Bank, by usurious loans with heavy interest. He beggared the people of Bangladesh and he sucked their bloodsucker bank. Charges were placed against him and cases were filed, right, by the previous regime because of the way that he had cleaned out the people of Bangladesh, the poor people of the villages of Bangladesh, to pay for the election of Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton and the Democrats had tried to pay him back by said, we will make you the president of Bangladesh. To hell with elections, to hell with democracy, to hell with rule of law. It is our Meri Marji. We will do what we want all over the globe. It is as capricious as all that. And with the help of Pakistan, they created that so-called student uprising, and then they parachuted not one of the students as president, as this 80-year plus old Muhammad Yunus as president, as the caretaker government in Bangladesh. What locus standi? What legal grounds has he got to call himself a representative of the people of Bangladesh? None whatsoever. Legally, he has no locus standi. Hasina Wajed never resigned. And in fact, when Donald Trump won, she was one of the first world leaders to talk to him, and he treated her like the incumbent Prime Minister of Bangladesh, which she rightfully is. Now the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is no friend of Muhammad Yunus. He dislikes him, in fact. Donald Trump is now going to start a major campaign to evict 11 million illegal migrants in the United States. I think it's time for India to do the same with the crores of illegal migrants that have come into India from Bangladesh. Just like the American Homeland Security, they have been tasked with the task of identifying, rounding up and throwing out all these illegal migrants. I think India should do the same with this upstart government in Bangladesh. We should go much further. They have started almost a virtual campaign of genocide against the Hindus in Bangladesh. They are trying to drive them out into India. I think it's about time that we call the comeuppance of Pakistan and of Bangladesh both. It is time for India to teach a lesson both to Pakistan and to Bangladesh. Pakistan for its incessant continuing support of terrorism, despite all international opprobrium, despite all international sanctions, all international admonishments. They are a state that supports terrorism. They want to fight Ghazwa-e-Hind to dismember India. And I think it's about time that we have been extremely patient with this country. Whenever we have tried to talk peace, we have been rewarded with this kind of behavior designed to break up India, to destroy India as a nation state. I think this is a nation state on the brink of collapse. We should help it go into the black hole of history. It is crying out for that. It is saying that we won't behave unless you kick us. So let us kick them. The timings couldn't be right. They are on the brink of economic collapse and meltdown. I mean, it's a furniture. It is a dog eat dog situation in Pakistan. Baluchis are in revolt. Pakhtunkhwa is in revolt. Gilgit-Baltistan is in revolt. Pakistan occupied Kashmir itself is in turmoil. Sindhis are in revolt. I think it's about time to kick this broken door once and for all, because it has been nothing but a nuisance, not only to itself, not only to its Shia minorities, but to the whole of South Asia and the whole world. Every single terror incident anywhere in the world, and you can trace the threads right back to Pakistan. Even that Democrat Hillary Clinton had told this country that if you keep snakes in your backyard in the fond hope that they will only bite your neighbors, you are sadly mistaken. They will bite you, and they are doing so. But this country has not given up its chutzpah. This country has not given up its grandiose, delusions of grandeur. It wants to break up India, country 5 times its size, 20 times its economic heft. But they want to break us up. They have created, to create problems for India, they have created that coup in Bangladesh with the help of the United States of America, with the CIA. But fortunately, a CIA now under Tulsi Gabbard will not be as indulgent to the ISI. And it is time now for us to teach these two overtly aggressive countries, overtly hostile countries, a lesson for their inimical attitude to India, their hostility towards India, their ceaseless desire to do India harm. This is an opportune moment. With Donald Trump in the United States, India should teach Pakistan a lesson, increase costs and consequences for its support to terrorism, go for surgical strikes, go for air strikes, if required, go for limited operations into POK. Finish the root of this conflict once and for all. And if necessary, if that means breaking up Pakistan, Pakistan will break up as it is. I don't think we have to do very much. We just have to safeguard our interests. And as far as this illegal government in Bangladesh is concerned, I think in concert with the Americans, our American friends, we should restore democracy in Bangladesh. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.